Hey there, and welcome. We are about to break down decades of the best wealth building advice into one single powerful framework. So if you've ever felt totally overwhelmed by all the financial noise out there, this is for you. We're going to make things crystal clear. Let's jump in.
I mean, it really does, right? It feels like everywhere you turn, there's some new guru with a secret formula. Buy this crypto, start that side hustle, you have to cut out lattes. It's just a constant storm of conflicting advice, and honestly, it can make you feel like you're always doing something wrong. But what if? What if the real principles are actually incredibly simple and have been the same for centuries?
Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore. We're going to cut through all of that noise using one single powerful idea, a pyramid. Think about it. A pyramid gives us a clear step-by-step path that shows how each level of building wealth has to rest on the one below it. We're going to build it from the ground up.
And here's our game plan. We're going to build this thing together, level by level. We'll start with the biggest, most important piece, the absolute bedrock, your mindset. Then we'll move up to your habits, your income, your investments, and finally, all the way to the very top, the peak of the pyramid, your freedom.
Okay, let's lay down level one, the foundation. And I can't stress this enough. This is the most critical piece of the whole puzzle. Because you know what? Real, lasting wealth isn't built in a bank account. Nope. It's built right here, between your ears. It all comes down to the stories you tell yourself about money.
Robert Kiyosaki, in his book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, just nails this with his idea of two different mindsets. On one side, you have this mindset that sees a world of limits. It's focused on getting a safe job, trading time for a paycheck. On the other side, you have a mindset that sees a world of possibilities. It's all about building assets and asking this game-changing question. Not, can I afford this, but how can I afford this? See that little shift? It changes everything. For them, investing isn't the risk. The real risk is not being in control of your own financial future.
So what is it that fuels that massive mindset shift? Well, according to Napoleon Hill, it all starts with a burning desire. And I'm not talking about a wish or a wouldn't it be nice kind of hope. I mean a definite, intense, all-consuming desire. This is the emotional horsepower that's going to push you to learn, to act, and to get back up when you get knocked down. It is the fuel for this entire journey. So, when you put it all together, the foundation of our pyramid really rests on these three huge pillars. First, a belief in abundance, that wealth isn't a zero-sum game. Second, a sense of ownership, seeing yourself as someone who builds things, not just someone who earns a wage. And finally, resilience, the deep-down understanding that this is on you. No one is coming to save you.
All right, a powerful mindset is amazing, but it's just potential energy until you do something with it. And that brings us right up to level two, the blueprint. This is where we turn our thoughts into consistent, everyday actions.
You know, the ancient book, The Richest Man in Babylon, gave us a blueprint that is just as powerful today as it was thousands of years ago. It's so simple, it's brilliant. Step one, pay yourself first. Before the landlord, before the grocery store, before anyone, at least 10% of everything you earn is yours to keep. Step two, live on what's left. Simple as that. And step three, put that money you kept to work so it can start making babies, earning more money for you. This is the very beginning of investing.
Now, to really make those habits stick, here is a mind-bending idea from the book Your Money or Your Life. Stop thinking about money as dollars and cents. Instead, think of it as your life energy. I mean, it represents the hours of your one precious life that you traded to get it. When you really get that, every single purchase becomes a completely different question.
And this just makes it so real. Let's say your paycheck says you make $25 an hour. Sounds pretty good. But then you start subtracting all the costs of having that job. The commute, the special clothes, the lunches you buy because you're too tired to pack one, the Friday night drinks to de-stress. Suddenly, your real hourly wage might only be, say, $10 an hour. So that new $100 gadget, it doesn't cost $100. It costs 10 hours of your life. Now, is it worth it? See, that kind of thinking completely transforms your financial habits.
Okay, so we have a strong mindset and we have solid habits. Now we can focus on building level 3, the engine. This is what's going to fuel our entire wealth-building machine. But there's a really important difference in how we can generate that fuel.
So look, on the left side, you've got most people. They're earning a living by trading their time for money. It's linear. There's a cap, right? There are only so many hours in a day. But on the right side, that's a different path entirely. That's about building a life. It's about creating systems, businesses, investments that generate income whether you're working or not. That path is scalable. And the whole game is figuring out how to move from the left side of this chart to the right.
So how in the world do you actually make that shift? Well, it's a process. It usually starts by specializing, getting really good at one valuable skill. Then, you build systems around that skill so the income isn't 100% dependent on you showing up. Next, you automate and delegate to pull yourself out of the day-to-day. And finally, you use leverage, other people's talent, other people's capital, to grow way beyond what you could ever do by yourself.
Okay, so you've got the mindset, you've got the habits, and the income engine is starting to hum. Now we climb to level 4, the portfolio. This is where you really start to put your money to work for you. This is where your gold truly begins to multiply. And there are really two main ways to think about doing this.
Think of it like two different paths up the same mountain. Path 1 is the defensive investor. These are folks who say, look, it's almost impossible to beat the market, so why even try? Their strategy is to buy the entire market through low-cost index funds and just hold on for the ride. Path 2 is the sophisticated investor. They believe you can beat the market, but only if you gain deep knowledge and control by investing directly in things like real estate or private businesses. Now, neither path is right or wrong. They just demand totally different levels of your time, your skill, and your direct involvement.
And no matter which path you lean towards, there is one principle that is absolutely universal. You have to match your investments to your timeline. It's just common sense, right? Money you're going to need in the next couple of years, that needs to be somewhere super safe. Money you won't touch for decades, well, that can be in higher growth stuff because it has time to bounce back from any market craziness. Bottom line, your time horizon should always dictate how much risk you're willing to take.
And all of this, it leads us here, to the very top of the pyramid. We've laid the foundation, we've built the structure, we've fueled the engine. We have finally reached the peak, the entire point of this whole journey. Your freedom. But what does that word even mean?
Well, the goal isn't some crazy number, like $1 billion. The goal is a much more powerful, much more beautiful word, enough. Enough is that moment, that perfect, elegant crossover point, where the money your investments make each month is more than what you spend each month. The second that happens, you are financially independent. You never have to trade your life energy for money again, ever.
And this freedom, it's not just about running away from a job you hate. That's part of it maybe, but as Tim Ferriss says, it's really about having the option to actively pursue the life you truly want. It's having the time and the resources to learn that new language, to write that book, to travel, to give back, to literally design your days exactly how you want to. That is the ultimate return on investment.
So there you have it, the 5-level blueprint to financial freedom. From your mindset to your habits, your income to your investments, all of it leading to a life that you design. The structure is clear. The path is there. The only question left is, what are you going to build?